I want to speak about a cowardice, racist, white supremacist substitute teacher / police officer out there in Minnesota who took it upon himself in the classroom to have a black child reenact our brother George Floyd's untimely demise. He had his leg over top of our young brother, and he's trying to make the argument and the claim that our brother George Floyd didn't die from the coward white supremacist Derek Chauvin's leg being over top of him, but that he died from a fentanyl overdose. And this is a white supremacist talking point. When you hear this coming from people from the dominant white society family, just know that in all actuality, those people are white supremacists. So I got the audio and the video of this, and we're going to walk through and talk about it how we normally do. Fair use.
Disturbing allegations. They're emerging against a substitute teacher in Minnesota. He's accused of putting a student on the floor in front of the class and reenacting the murder of George Floyd.
This substitute teacher is actually an off-duty police officer.
Of course, a no-good racist white supremacist substitute teacher would be an off-duty police officer. This is why he's trying to justify Derek Chauvin's actions, because in his eyes, Derek Chauvin is his white supremacist brethren.
This high school tell our affiliate Care News that in the reenacting of George Floyd's murder, he was trying to prove that the restraint used was actually not what killed him. Mind you, this is about
the white supremacist society family. I keep saying this is that they try to justify the harming of innocent, unarmed black people. In the sickly-minded mind of white supremacy, they try to justify harming black people all day, every day. They get a sick type of thrill out of this. And in fact, they lift up and prop up this Derek Chauvin and hold him in high regard. They idolize him and look at him as some kind of hero. But he ain't no damn hero. He ain't nothing more than a racist, white supremacist coward, if you ask me. But let's continue.
20 miles from where George Floyd was killed. Over the course of a number of English classes, students say that he put another student on the ground and twisted their arm behind their back, that he told sexist jokes, described sexual assault crimes in explicit detail. In another case, he said that police would make the best criminals because they know how to get away with stuff.
See, right now, they just trying to throw a bunch of things over top of it to minimize this white supremacist anti-black racism that he committed. Don't do that. Stop trying to minimize the anti-black racism. But let's continue.
From those images we saw that student on the ground was a black student in such proximity.
Of course, the student on the ground was a black student. He wouldn't have had it no other way. Ain't nothing done by coincidence. In white supremacist society, they do everything strategically. So him picking a black student, that made it all that more sweeter to him, to commemorate and, rekindle what happened to our brother George Floyd, to try to relive that moment, so to speak. But let's continue.
Where George Floyd was killed. And so this entire community is in an uproar. The school district immediately trespassed him from the school. He's no longer...
They said the school district immediately trespassed him, and I seen things that said contrary, that they had several complaints beforehand on this no-good white supremacist teacher. And maybe if they would have investigated a little bit harder and took it a little bit more seriously, they could have deterred this from happening. Our young brother's parents certainly got a hefty lawsuit on their hands with the school district. And I want to say to my young brothers and sisters out there, never let no one have you, reenact the untimely death of none of your people. Even if it is a person in an authoritative position, tell them hell to the no, and, let your parents know. And I'm pretty sure your parents is going to back you on that decision you made. But let's continue.
Allowed school property, but again, he's a police officer in the neighboring state. He's been placed on.
He's a police officer in a neighboring state, and they say that he's been placed on administrative leave. Administrative leave ain't nothing but a damn paid vacation, if you ask me. He needs to be fired and turn in his badge so he can't work on the police force no more, because this is the type of white supremacist officer that shoots unarmed, innocent black folks all day, every day, and tries to justify that as they resisted arrest. And I don't respect that, because ain't no telling what this white supremacist police officer was involved in. He probably was involved in a lot of racist anti-black activity over the years. And, we need to get that black hate crimes bill put into effect, as of yesterday, if you ask me. This is why we got to keep speaking about it. This is why I always speak about it, truth be told, because the more we talk about it, it keeps that up in the lexicon, and the more we move the needle to get this push for our people. But this guy deserves to certainly be charged with a hate crime and, never ever be able to be a police officer again. Just my thoughts on the matter. Peace.